Hi everyone, today we are comparing the Sony E-mount 50mm f1.8 lens on the left versus the Tamron 17-28mm f2.8 lens on the right. You can see a lot of grain on the right and a lot less on the left. Overall ISO is much lower for the 50mm, and at times the Tamron has issues focusing. There's just more grain on the right, but both lenses pull a lot out of very dark and low light situations. I prefer the 50mm prime if you are always in these types of conditions, but the Tamron is definitely not terrible. It would be great if the Tamron was a f2.0, but this is the limitation from the 2.8. You have to turn up the ISO, which ends up adding more grain. So now we are looking at the Tamron on the left and the Sony on the right. Here you can see a much larger difference at f2.8 on the left and f1.8 on the right. We can modify on the left the ISO and allow ourselves to get more light, but at the expense of more grain in the image. On the left, if we overexpose, you can see the real power of a full frame camera versus APS-C or a 1-inch sensor. But overall, you're still adding more grain, and it's not something that I would recommend using or doing. This next shot is with an LED 2700K light bulb in front of me. And this really shows, with a decently lit room, the type of footage you can get with an f2.8 versus an f1.8. Maybe with an f1.8 you'd get more shallow depth of field on the right, but overall the quality becomes more similar and it's really difficult to tell the difference in terms of low light capabilities. However, some users do always prefer the separation of the background to get that more professional look. Finally, to the last shot, with some light shining on my face, it becomes clearly apparent that the footage looks more similar. And again, it's up to you. Do you need something that captures very low light, or do you need something for long exposure still images? If so, you'll need something closer to a prime f1.8, f1.4, or f1.2 that'll really help with this. If most of your shots are done during the day, then you may not even need an f2.8. You may only need a kit lens with an f4 or an f5.6. Anyways, let me know in the comments your thoughts, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.